What's by? This is Jaden. Welcome back to a new reaction video, and today we'll be reacting to Better Call Saul, Season 3, Episode 5, Chicanery. And look at this chicken little thing right here. It's like Los Pollos Hermanos. Just realized that. I don't know what Chicanery means, but last episode, Jimmy confessed to a whole bunch of stuff, and I still don't truly understand legally what's going on because I'm not a lawyer, and I mean, this show does make it easier to understand lawyer stuff, but I'm not you know what I mean. Like, I don't truly understand what's going on because I'm not a lawyer. But I do know, his confession will be to the New Mexico Bar Association or something, which means he probably can't become a lawyer again or something. He has to do community service. I mean, he probably can be a lawyer again, but I have a feeling that these events make him choose the name Saul Goodman. So I have a feeling that season 4, at least if not by the end of season 4, we're gonna get Better Call Saul. We're gonna get Saul Goodman. Who knows? I might be waiting this entire. Who knows? It could be the final episode he becomes Saul Goodman. But anyway, let's go ahead and see what's gonna go on in this episode and full reactions on Patreon. This seems like a flashback. Are you shredding money? Oh, it's grass. This does seem like a flashback though, because it's all blue. And he's allowed in Chuck's house.
Found a phone.
Oh, is this?
It looks
Why
like
are
it's
the
from 1967, but I think it'll work.
Just a sec, Jimmy.
So, you got a phone. The yard's half mowed. The sockets and stuff are looking A-okay. I'm gonna check again just to make sure. We're almost there.
Good. What do you think? On, off.
What?
I think off. I mean, in my experience, the bigger the lie, the harder it can be to dig out.
I'll cross that bridge when I come to it.
Hey guys,
The bigger the lie. And why did you need to ask on and off for your wedding ring? So I'm thinking, is this when he's learning about his sickness? Or was he truly lying about his sickness until his brain tricked himself into thinking his sickness is real? Oh,
Rebecca,
it's Rebecca.
you look lovely.
Oh, it's so good to see you.
jeez.
Yeah.
Look.
So what do? Get out of here and go to a restaurant? We could hit Seasons, your treat.
I can't eat another bite.
Cheers to the Galloping Gourmet.
Yeah. Calvados is perfect.
You always like that.
I still can't get over Jimmy being a lawyer.
Neither can I. He's got his own shingle out and everything.
I mean, a real responsible citizen. I mean, who would have thought? Oh, I'm sorry. I hate that thing. I feel like I'm on a leash. I can do that at rehearsal. Yeah, no problem. Yeah. No, I know that they're coming in late on bar 16. Yeah. Got it. I will make sure that. Can you hold on a second? Let me just get a pen.
Uh-oh.
Chuck.
All right.
Well, do you want me to rehearse the cello separately? No, that's fine. Chuck, what the hell? Andre? I'll have to call you back. I'm sorry.
It is incredibly bad manners to answer a cell phone in company. It's very rude.
I'm sorry. I didn't know that you felt that way. I didn't mean to offend you, Chuck.
Look, if you won't tell her, then I will.
No. You will not tell her. You will not tell her.
Oh, okay. Attorney at law.
Jesus, what are you doing, man? There's barely any oxygen in that bag. You're suffocating her.
Huh?
Yeah, just because you don't see swinging dicks doesn't mean you can't tell a boy fish from a girl fish.
Oh, yeah, see, now I can see the lipstick.
This is a living creature. It's not a piece of furniture. I'm guessing our friend didn't refer you to me to get ichthyological advice.
Oh.
I'm looking for someone with a light touch. I'm not talking some teenager taking a 5-finger discount of string cheese at the Stop and Shop. I need highly skilled, high-end, discreet, real pro.
Why don't you just use Mike?
You gotta fit him in a tight space?
I don't think so.
That swing. It's going to get better. That's why I say golfing is contact sport.
Oh, there's Mesa Verde.
Great job, Mr. Wexler. Very refreshing.
Oh, it's the Mesa Verde.
Believe
Okay, it was
me,
the bank. I
we're
thought it
happy to
was
get this one off the docket.
Hamlin
Not as
McGill.
happy as we are. Again, great job.
Thank you, sir. I hate to be a buzzkill, but there is something you need to hear before we get any deeper in. It's about your former attorney, Charles McGill.
What about him?
Charles has been making some very ugly allegations about his brother, Jimmy, with whom I happen to share an office space.
Allegations of what?
Charles thinks that Jimmy somehow took control of your documents while he was working on them at his home. He believes Jimmy transposed the address numbers.
Transpose the numbers? How would he even do that?
Charles contends that Jimmy took the documents pertaining to the Rosella branch, and while Charles was indisposed, I wanted to tell you this in the spirit of full disclosure. I thought it was better if you heard it from me. If you have any reservations at this point, or if you are not comfortable staying with me, we can discuss options.
If there's one thing I cannot abide, it's a man who won't own up to his mistakes. Now, whatever mud McGill is slinging is not going to screw me out of the best outside counsel I've ever had.
Oh, wow.
This McGill thing? You're sure it's not going to be a problem?
I am.
How you feeling, Chuck?
I'll muddle through.
Because this is a lot to ask. And if you're not up to it, just throwing this out there, maybe you don't need to testify at all.
No, I do. I'm the only person who can adequately explain the context of that tape. Otherwise, the defense will tear it to shreds.
But one of my jobs is to safeguard the firm's reputation.
This is not the time to worry about how we look. This is about what's right and what's wrong. I'm not going to risk Jimmy getting, what, a year's suspension? Maybe 2?
A year or 2?
He deserves disbarment, not some slap
He
on
wants
the
a-
wrist.
Wow.
Now, Howard, there's only one way forward.
Maybe there'll be a year time
Let
jump. Who
justice be
knows?
done, though the heavens fall.
Good morning. I'm Robert Alley for the State Bar. In the matter of James M. McGill, the State Bar intends to prove the following violations of the Ethical Code. 16-102, engaging in conduct the lawyer knows is criminal. 16-304, unlawfully altering, destroying, or concealing material having potential evidentiary value. We will show that this recording was evidence in an ongoing legal case. The State Bar believes that once we have presented the facts, the committee will agree that disbarment is warranted for James McGill.
I'm Kim Wexler, co-counsel with James McGill for the defense. You've already read Mr. McGill's pre-prosecution statement. We don't dispute he broke into his brother's house, an act he regrets deeply. We believe that after you have the complete picture, you'll understand James McGill is an asset to our legal community, and he should remain a full member of it in good standing.
Bang, bang, bang. Then he kicked down the door. Jimmy was very agitated. He was shouting. He demanded Charles turn over the evidence he'd been collecting.
Objection. We haven't
Let's
established
see how
the
this.
tape
Let's
is
see how this is
evidence
going
of
to
anything.
play
The defense
out.
has only acknowledged it as a piece of property.
Allow me to rephrase. Jimmy demanded an audio cassette. He and I were concerned that Jimmy might strike his brother. So that's when we stepped in.
Thank you, Mr. Hamlin.
Certainly.
Nothing further at this time.
Ms. Wexler?
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. How'd you feel when you found out he'd become a lawyer?
Surprised. He'd put himself through law school and taken the bar exam without telling any of the partners, even Charles.
He bootstrapped his way into a law degree while working in your mailroom. Did you consider taking him on as an associate?
Nope.
We did. Briefly.
Which partner was the most concerned with nepotism?
Charles McGill.
So Jimmy's own brother blocked him.
Objection. How are the hiring practices of Hamlin McGill relevant here?
It's relevant to understand the relationship between these brothers.
We'll give you some leeway, Miss Wexler, but don't stray too far. Charles McGill is not the subject of this hearing.
Thank you. Jimmy was struggling to build his solo law practice, and yet every single day, without fail, he brought his brother food, supplies, even his favorite newspapers. Isn't that right?
He did.
But you can confirm it was due to mental illness, correct?
Objection. Charles McGill's mental health isn't at issue. This is a smear job on the State Bar's upcoming witness, nothing more.
This is not a competency hearing, Miss Wexler.
This time, the State Bar would like to enter Exhibit 5 into evidence. We ask that Charles McGill's recording be played.
I'm respectfully renewing
she on
my
jury
objection.
duty?
The probative value of playing this exhibit is outweighed by how prejudicial it is.
All due respect to Miss Wexler, but the State Bar feels this is fundamental to hear.
Thank you for your patience. The State Bar is ready to proceed.
Begging your pardon, the defense requests a moment to review, if we could.
All right. When you're ready.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
Yes, my brother has many admirable qualities. In some ways, I can say I admire him.
Too cold.
Why isn't he there yet?
I love my brother. But Ted Kaczynski's brother loved him too, and he wanted to help.
Hamlin, McGill, more like Scrooge and Marley. Kim deserves Mesa Verde, not you, not HHM. She earned it, and she needs it. I did it to help her, but I honestly didn't think it would hurt you so bad. I thought you'd just say, oh crap, I made a mistake, and go on with your life like a normal person. But oh no, wishful thinking.
All right.
Just so shocked.
Mr. Alley, we need to make accommodations for your next witness. Is that correct?
Yes, Mr. Chairman.
All right. Anything electrical? If you prefer not to, please secure your items outside this room. Thank you for understanding.
Your phone, sir?
I left it in the car.
He did not leave in the car. You're not even going the right side up.
Excuse me. Sorry, sirs.
Huey! That's Huey! Wow, I was waiting for him.
Could you state your name?
Charles L. McGill. I'm a senior partner at the law firm of Hamlin McGill.
Cold, sorry.
Can the court reporter hear me?
Yes, sir. I can hear you fine.
I had a suspicion my brother had tampered with documents in a case I was working on.
Now, why would he do that? Doesn't sound particularly brotherly.
I believe it was his hope that the tainted documents would cause the client to become disillusioned with my representation. My brother, whatever else can be said of him, can be quite clever. Did an excellent job of covering his tracks.
Objection. The witness has admitted there's no corroborating evidence this supposed crime even occurred.
I'd like to hear what he has to say.
Without physical evidence, I felt that a recorded confession, if I could get one, was my best bet. On its own, I knew
Who gave
the
you
tape would be somewhat flimsy, but it was a start. A foundation for a more ironclad case. I exaggerated the symptoms of my disease to extract the truth.
Logan
Can we talk
sound
about your
truth now.
disease for a moment? I'd like everybody here to be on the same page about it.
Of course. It is sometimes referred to as EHS, electromagnetic hypersensitivity. I describe it as an acute allergy to electromagnetism. But 30 years ago, no one had heard of peanut allergies.
But you admit that no doctor has ever diagnosed you.
AIDS was not identified properly until 1981. HIV wasn't known as the cause until 83. These things take time to unravel, even for doctors.
Would you say that your illness affects your ability to think clearly?
No, it affects me physically. Rebecca.
Chuck, it's good to see you.
I have to say, I'm a bit surprised. Did Jimmy subpoena you? You're not on the witness list. You don't have to testify.
No, I'm not here for that.
Well, what then?
Chuck, I wish you'd told me.
Because all this is so stressful for me. Is that what Jimmy told you?
He's worried about you, Chuck. In spite of everything that's happened between the two of you, he cares.
What exactly did he say?
Well, that you had been sick. I came because I thought it was the right thing. I don't know that you'd want me to. But I guess that I'm more of a distraction.
Wow.
So I'm going to be in town for a few days.
It's just not what I expected.
Yeah, what'd you expect?
I don't know, just not her.
I mean, the sound's pretty clear, so it wasn't in the couch cushions, was it?
tucked under a space blanket, out of sight.
So there's no chance I would see it. Not with the state your place was in, isn't that right?
I suppose.
Would you like to set the scene for the disciplinary committee? Tell them, what your house looked like at the time of the recording.
Objection. Relevance?
Right, so shiny insulation and space blankets all over the walls and the ceiling. It was like being inside of a disco ball.
Do you have a point?
Well, I'm impressed by how much
If he
work
wins
went into
this.
entrapping me. You went all out.
I didn't entrap you.
Every surface covered in tinfoil. Nothing crazy about that, huh?
As I've said, I was playing up my condition. Usually it's a perfectly normal house.
You think your house is normal? Can I call your attention to Exhibit 9? There's
Safety
a camp
hazard.
stove. There's a lantern on top of newspapers. You call this normal?
I call them adaptations.
Chuck, I'd like to go back a little further. Talk about when these symptoms first started. It was shortly after you were divorced, is that right? You think the stress of the divorce brought on the illness?
I doubt it. It was an amicable split. My ex-wife and I are still on good terms. I'll tell you why my brother brought my ex-wife to this hearing. 4,000 miles she came, lured by concern for me. What Jimmy's driving at is the last time I saw her, I covered up my illness. If that had been the case, maybe I might have.
Lung
How is this
cancer.
different?
Mr. McGill, move it along.
You don't have to answer that. I want to get down to brass tacks. I want to be very, very specific here. This illness, what does it feel like? You mentioned it's painful.
And pain. Burning pain. The pain spreads everywhere.
Sounds horrible. Does it hurt right now?
There's always some discomfort, yes. Electricity is everywhere in the modern world.
Right, so with the lights out, you don't feel them.
If the current's not flowing, no.
Well, sorry about the exit signs. I guess they couldn't kill those for you.
Well, they're not drawing much current and they're far away.
Got it. So if I had a small battery safe from a watch or something, and I got it close to you, close to your skin, you'd know.
Huey put a phone on him.
Can you feel more current coming from any particular direction right now? From the back wall? Or from over there? Or up through the floor? Can you tell us where the nearest source is right now? My cell phone. From this distance, you should feel it, and you don't, do you?
Mr. McGill, you were warned to leave your electronics outside.
There's no battery in here. You removed the battery.
Now he's one step ahead of you.
Sorry little trick, isn't it?
Yeah, you got me, Chuck. Dead to rights. I removed the battery.
Objection.
Sustained. You've taken all the leeway you're getting, Mr. McGill. Wrap it up fast.
God, Jimmy. Don't you know by now this is real? I feel this. It's a physical response to stimuli. It's not a quirk.
Could you reach into your breast pocket and tell me what's
Yep.
there?
See? Yep. Huey did
What
that.
now?
Huey did that. Look!
Can you tell the court what that was?
It was in his pocket the entire time.
Mr. Chairman,
You
please.
recognize that man in back? His name is Huel Babineau. He's
Huel.
on our witness list. You
That was
bumped into
Huey.
him in the stairway. He'll testify he planted this fully charged battery on you over an hour and a half ago.
No, it's a trick. It has
Enough
to.
is enough. I submit that Mr. McGill's mental illness
Nope,
is a
nope, nope,
non-issue.
nope,
If
nope.
he were schizophrenic, it wouldn't take away from the fact that the
I am
defendant...
not crazy.
Oh, see?
I am not crazy.
Yes, you
I
are.
know he swapped those numbers. I knew it was 1216. One after Magna Carta, as if I could ever make such a mistake. Never. I just
Okay, but
couldn't prove it.
sure, you don't have to make that mistake,
He
but you're
covered
still
his tracks.
crazy
He got
because of
that
the electric
idiot
stuff.
At the copy shop to lie for him.
Mr. McGill, please, you don't have to go
You
in.
think this is something? You think this is bad? He defecated through a sunroof. And I saved him. And I
But he-
shouldn't
how
have.
old was
Took
he
him
when
into
he
my
did that?
Own firm. What was I thinking? He'll never change. Ever since he was 9, always the same. Couldn't keep his hands out of the cash drawer. I should have stopped him when I had the chance. And you have to stop him.
Like, this goes deeper than like what's currently happening. It's way deeper than that.
Do you have anything else?
No. Nothing further.
Oh man. Oh, dedicated to our friend. Alright, that's the end of this episode. It was a good episode. Oops. I like this episode a lot, actually. I still don't know why it's called Chicanery or whatever. Next episode is called Off Brand. So let's see what happens. What happens in the next episode? Let's see how this outcome's gonna be. Because right now it's looking very good for Jimmy. It's looking extremely good for Jimmy. So let's see what's gonna happen. Um. Oh man, I'm so cold. This is a good episode though. I really enjoyed it. Um. I was like, how could they top last episode? But they, it was like kind of a different vibe. We didn't all we saw was like really Jimmy's story, but it was still really good. Last episode, it was like we had a whole bunch of different storylines going on. This episode was mainly one, but they were both still very good. And it was interesting as well. I feel like this was like the most interesting courtroom scene that we've seen in this show because we see courtroom scenes all the time in this show, but they're kind of like okay. But like this one was actually very interesting. So yeah, anyway, next episode is called Off Brand. Let's see what happens in Off Brand. And we got like 4 more episodes left. So well, we got 5 more episodes left actually. But yeah, I want to thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video. Goodbye.